Afternoon. Today is spelling test day. So we are on lesson 20 of our unit 1 in phonics today. We're going to go ahead and get started because like I said, we have our spelling test today, so we need to get done quickly. So what I need you to do is get out your phonics journal, okay? And we're going to turn to page 17 first because before we take our test, we're going to do our mix it up where I tell you words and then you're going to have to figure out the sounds that you hear and then we'll change the words. So open up your journal to page 17. Page 17, please put today's date on the top, 9-28, and then write mix it up. Okay. So the first word that we're going to do today is the word fleet. Fleet. Think about how many sounds you hear in that word. Fleet. When you hear the sounds, I want you to write those down, please. Write down what you hear in fleet. I hear 4 sounds. I hear fleet, fleet. So I wrote what I heard. I heard the and I know E together, 2 E's together says E. So fleet. Don't step on my computer, kiddo. Thank you, kitty. Walk around. All right, so that's the word fleet. Just, what are you doing? Go. Silly cat. All right, so now we're going to change the word fleet. We're going to take off the t part, okay? So now it's just going to say flee, flee. So the new word is flee. And this is not flee like what cat and dogs get. This is flee like when you have to run away quickly. Flee into the woods. Flee. Okay, you ready for the second word? The second word is malt. 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 Think about how many sounds you hear in that word. Malt. So I hear 4 sounds. Malt. Okay, I hear 4 sounds, and I know I hear the part of the beginning. Okay, the next sound I hear sounds like an O. Malt. Okay, so here's how you spell the word malt. But remember, this is not about spelling. This is about the sounds you hear. So if you have an O here, because that's the sound you heard, that's fine. We have 4 sounds. Malt. Good. This time we're going to take off the t sound. We're going to take off the t sound. So think about that. What is our new word going to be? Our new word is going to be mall. And I knew that I needed to add a double L at the end of that word because it's a short sound. All right. Our next word is the word rain. Rain. How many sounds do you hear in that word? Rain. I hear 3. Rain. Good. Now, again, this is not about spelling it correctly. This is about the sounds you hear. Rain. I know that A and I together say A. Rain. Good. Rain. So we're going to change it, and we're not going to have the R part. We're going to have a ch here. Think about that. What is our new word going to be if there's a ch at the front? Ch, ch. Our new word is going to be chain. Good. We went from rain to chain. Good. All right. Our next word is the word lack. Lack. So I hear 3 sounds. l, ack, l, ack. So I hear an L and an A, and then I know that if I have a short vowel sound and it ends with a k sound, sometimes it's going to have a C and a K together. So I have l, ack. All right, so now we're going to change it to make it say I instead of I. L, I. So what's our new word going to be? It's going to be like, and because I know how to spell the word like, I went ahead and I wrote like. Good. All right, our next word is the word bland. Like when something doesn't have a lot of flavor, it's very bland. Bland. Think about how many sounds you hear. Bland. I hear bland. Bland. I hear 5 sounds. I hear bl at the beginning, which I know is a B and an L, and then I hear the word and I know how to spell and, so I put and, bland. So we're going to get rid of the b start beginning, the at the beginning. So think about what is our new word going to be if we get rid of the b. It's going to be the word land. Good. We went from bland to land. All right, our last word for today is a little tricky. It's the word brace. Brace. How many sounds do you hear in the word brace? Brace. I hear 4 sounds. Brace. Okay, this one's a little tricky. Remember, it's not about if you spelled it right. It's about the sound that you hear, okay? I hear a B, B, R, A, and then it sounds like an S. But like we talked about on Friday, sometimes CE makes this sound. So here's the word brace. Brace. Good. Now you're going to change it. Instead of a B sound at the beginning, you're going to have a G. G. So what is our new word going to be? The new word is going to be grace. It went from brace to grace. Good job. All right, so go ahead and turn to page 18, and that is where we're going to do our spelling test. But before we get started, we got to do a few more things before we take our test. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, so we were on lesson 20 today. Okay, so the first word we're going to do today is the word plant. I guess I do need to show you guys my video so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so the first word is plant. Plant. And if we break apart that blend, we have plant. Plant is the word on the curve. But we're going to get rid of the ol part. So now our new word is just ant. Ant. So the new word on the curve is pant. Pant. Good. All right, our next word is sweat. 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 Sweat is the word on the curve. And we're going to break apart that blend so we have sweat. All right, so this time we're going to get rid of the w part. The w. So now we just have set. Set. So our new word on the curve is set. You guys notice how it looks a little different? Like up here, the EAT says et, but down here it's just ET. Okay, our new word is blonde. Blonde. Blonde is the word on the curve. We're going to break apart that blend, and we have blonde, blonde, and we're going to take away the old part. And now we just have bond. On the new word on the curve is bond. Good. Our next word is spy. Spy. So we're going to break apart the blend. We have I. And this word, the Y says I instead of y. So we have I. We're going to get rid of the p part of that sound though. So now it's just going to be I. I. So the new word is sigh. And the IGH makes the I sound just like the Y does. And then our last word is, that I need to fix that, don't I? Grill. Grill. So we're going to break apart the blend. So we have grill. We're going to get rid of the and just have ill. Ill. So the new word on the curve is gill. Good job. All right, so our spoonerism for today is downy snay. Downy snay. What could that possibly be supposed to be saying? Downy snay. It is supposed to say snowy day. Remember, we take the first part of the word and flip-flop it. All right. So our learning targets for today are, I can complete my spelling list, I can review tricky words, and I can identify the different sounds of the tricky spelling S. So today is our spelling test. And remember, when we take our test, I'm going to read the word aloud, then I'll use it in a sentence, and then you're going to pause so that you have time to write each word, then you can hit play again. And at the end, I'm going to go back through the list, read each spelling word one more time, and then I will also give you a phrase to write today. Okay. So we are on page 18 of your spelling journal. Please make sure that you write on the top, write today's date, write spelling test 2 on page 18, and then you need to number your words, or your words. 1, skip a line. 2, skip a line. 3, skip a line. 4, skip a line, all the way down to 10, okay? So go ahead and pause and get this set up and get ready to go on our test. Okay, so our first word is snacking. Number 1, snacking. She was snacking on carrots. Snacking. And remember, guys, if you need to hit pause to write the word, you can do that and then just push play when you're ready, okay? Number 2 is mixing. She was mixing the cookie dough. Mixing. Number 3, smelling. I am smelling the flowers. Smelling. Number 4, running. She is running to her dad. Running. Number 5, kissing. Mom is kissing my baby brother. Kissing. Number 6, buzzing. The bee went buzzing by my ear. Buzzing. Number 7, hitting. They are hitting the volleyball. Hitting. Number 8, until. You should sit still until you're asked to stand up. Until. Number 9, problem. I had a problem with my math homework. Problem. And number 10, how. How do you spell your name? How? Okay, and the phrase that you're going to write just on the very bottom of the page is running cat bandit. Running cat bandit. All right, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread all of the words one more time. Number 1, snacking. Number 2, mixing. Number 3, smelling. Number 4, running. Number 5, kissing. Number 6, buzzing. Number 7, hitting. Number 8, until. Number 9, problem. Number 10, how. And your phrase was running cat bandit. All right, so remember guys, if you got them wrong while we're going through and checking them, you're not going to erase, you're not going to scribble, you're just going to put one line through it. So like on my quiz, I got buzzing wrong. So I just put a line through it and I rewrote it correctly beside it, okay? If you get it right, you can put a star or a check mark or a heart, however you want to do it, it's fine. All right, so here we go. The first word was snacking. And remember, guys, you have the option of pausing and making sure you have your word spelled correctly and then hitting play when you're ready to move on. So number 1 was snacking. Number 2 was mixing. Number 3 was smelling. Number 4 was running. Number 5 was kissing. Number 6 was buzzing. Number 7 was hitting. Number 8, until. Number 9, problem. And number 10 was how. And the phrase that you were supposed to write at the bottom was running cat bandit. Running cat bandit. And once you have checked all of those and you have corrected any mistakes you made, you can go ahead and put your journal away because we're not going to need your journal anymore today. So we're going to go over some tricky words today. So we have the word he. Please say these with me. He. I hope he studied for the test. He. She. She loves to swim. She. We. We sail out on the water. We. Be. I would like to be on the beach. Be. Me. My cat loves me. Me. The. This cookie is the best. The. Or a. May I please have a snack or a snack? Was. That was the best show. Was. From. It is important to know your right from left. Of. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Of. To. The car needs to be towed. To. Do. Do you want to give the dog a bath? Do. Down. We need to take down the flag in bad weather. Down. How. How many scoops of ice cream would you like? How. What. What time is your bedtime? What. Where. Where is the dog? Where? Why? Why is the house so dirty? Why? Once. Once upon a time, there was a princess and a pea. Once. One. It's a one-eyed monster. One. All right, nice job. So today we're going to learn about the tricky spelling S. So we have talked a little bit about the tricky spelling C and the tricky spelling G. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the tricky spelling S. So there are two ways to pronounce the S spelling, okay? The first one is it sounds like, okay? The second one, it sounds like a Z. So for the S sounds, we have cats, dots, and sun. But over in this side, we have dogs, runs, and is. So when you say those words slowly, emphasize the S and the Z sounds, and you'll feel how they feel different. Okay, so when you come to a word, in order to figure out how to pronounce the tricky spelling, you may need to try sounding it out in two different ways. And we're going to do that with our worksheet after we do this spelling card. So we have the sound, like in the word sun, okay? And you can look and see this is a pretty common way to spell the S sound is with just one S. But then we also have the Z sound, like in dogs. And look, this power bar is even bigger than this one. So this makes me think this is even more common to have the S that sounds like a Z at the end of the word. Very good. So let's look at our code book. We have learned so many sounds so far this year. Okay, so here we have this like in sun, and then we have the Z, oh, not the Z, like in dogs, that's made with the S. So we did this one today and this one today. Good job. All right, so here's where we're going to look at the tricky spelling S. And we have done two of these already. We did it with S and we did it with G. Today we're going to do blue and dark green, okay? So if it ends with a S sound, like in cats and dots and sun, we're going to underline it in blue. And if it ends with a Z sound, like in dogs and runs and is, we're going to underline it in dark green, okay? So he handed me, then there's this word that has the S sound. So I need to decide, is it a S or is it Z? So I'm going to try it both ways. He handed me his pet pig. Does that sound right? His pet pig? Or is it his pet pig? Which one is it? Is it his or his? Hiss is like the sound a snake makes. That doesn't make sense at all to me. So I think it's supposed to be the Z sound, his. So I underlined it in green and I typed it here under the Z column. So the next one is Ben can. So I need to figure out what the sound is. Is it like swim or is it Z like swim? Which one makes sense? This part. So we underlined it in blue, and then we wrote it here under this column. Now, if you want to write it, you can, but it'd probably be a whole lot easier for you guys to do a text box. I was able to do this because I did it on my big board at school. It was fairly simple, but it's harder to do it on a Chromebook. So you are going to do the next four on your own. Okay, you're going to decide the word that has the S in it. Is it a sound or a Z sound? Right? All right. So that is really all we had today. It was a really quick lesson. So our learning targets were I can complete my spelling test, I can review tricky words, and I can identify the different sounds of the tricky spelling S. And we did those. We took our test, we went over all of our tricky words, and we talked about the two different sounds of the letter S. So super fast lesson today. You guys have a great afternoon, and I will see you later.